Welcome back to the Westmoreland Sports Network for our Recruiting Thursday special, brought to you by Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We would love to meet you. Jack Ridenour here with you, and today we are joined by current Norwin girls basketball player and recent Allegheny College women's basketball commit, Ava Kobus. Ava, first off, great to have you join us today. Congratulations on obviously the very exciting news. How does it feel to kind of have this weight lifted off of your shoulder and you can really focus on the upcoming season?
Really good. I've a lot of weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Relief is kind of what I'm feeling right now. It's good to be able to just focus on my senior year and everything that I have coming up. So,
yeah, I talked to a lot of student athletes about that, just having kind of that ease, if you will, knowing that, hey, I've got this all out of the way and I can just enjoy my senior year, because you don't want to have all that other extra distractions. But I want to get into that decision-making process with you and what drew you to Allegheny. I mean, what was it about the school and the program that made you want to go there?
Well, I first hadn't really heard of it until Coach Kelly contacted me. She was great. I immediately liked her, and I went up for a visit in July. And kind of what really drew me to the college was that it was so beautiful on campus, and being able to play basketball at such a high level and such a high academic school as well was also really important to me. So, I mean, that's kind of why what made the decision for me.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you, I think, are now the fourth Norwin Knight to soon to be playing in the PAC for basketball. Alyssa Lockus at Chatham, Savannah Schneck at Grove City, and Catherine Bodai at Bethany. Is there something with Norwin and the PAC? I mean, are you guys like talking to each other? It's very interesting.
I don't know.
Well, so in terms of just maybe some of the advice that some of those players like Alyssa Lockus, who, has now played a year, of college basketball, what has it been like, maybe reaching out to them and getting some advice from them as what to expect to be, playing at the college level?
Yeah, I mean, Alyssa has been great. She's obviously had just such a successful season, and I'm sure that she will continue to have lots of success at Chatham. But, just hearing from them and hearing what they went through and kind of how they did it and being able to kind of play off of that into kind of how I wanted to do it for myself was just super helpful to just kind of see how other people did it and how I could move forward what was best for me.
Yeah, I think that's great to kind of have that maybe game plan, if you will, going into it, knowing what to expect and whatnot. But I know that you're also part of a very strong AAU program, PA Swoosh. How much of an impact did playing travel basketball have on your career overall, but also your recruitment?
Oh, so much. I have been playing with this team with Coach O for a long time. It's been a long time. I don't even remember. And just all the girls that I've been playing with over the years, whether that's in school or in AAU, have all had an influence on me, how the way I play, the way I am as a person. And they're all great people and we're all great friends. And I'm really grateful to Coach O, how he helped me through this, just kind of talking it out, bouncing off ideas and how I felt about different schools and different opportunities. So just having all of those people surrounding me through this process was really helpful.
Would you say that AAU basketball is something that you would recommend to other players if they want to play at college? Because I feel like at times some people might not be the biggest fans of travel sports, but then at the same time, there's a lot of great benefits to it and a lot of extra avenues to allow for athletes to be seen. So in your opinion, is that, maybe a route that you would suggest somebody who wants to play in college taking?
I would say yes, as long as it's the best for you. We found ourselves in the right situation at the right time, and we had a blast for all of the years that we played. And it was good to get to play with other people that I wouldn't have played with had I not played AAU, that weren't necessarily in my district, to, make new friends and just to be able to see how other people play and other people play in other states as well.
That's a great point. I mean, getting to see that different brand of basketball, because let's face it, when you go to college, you'll be seeing different brands of basketball from all over the place. So I think that's a kind of a good preparation for you. But I know that you pair all the basketball stuff with also being on the volleyball team at Norwin. What is that kind of like in terms of I've always been fascinated by that, the transition from volleyball to basketball, just really any sport. I mean, do you feel like those first 2 weeks you're a little slow in basketball in terms of just the conditioning aspect?
A bit. I still try to, keep going to open gyms and while I'm still in volleyball season, although sometimes it's difficult with school and everything. But yeah, I mean, I think that aspect of it kind of, especially from volleyball to basketball, like the aspect of like actually catching the ball when it comes near you, like that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing basketball for my whole life pretty much. So, I mean, the transition for me isn't really that difficult.
Yeah, I don't think you want to try and dig up a rebound. I don't know if that would.
No,
No, that would
no.
not go well with Coach Brzeski. He would not be a happy camper about that one. But I know that you guys also got to do a pretty cool thing that I think more schools need to do, an outdoor event for volleyball, an outdoor match. Can you talk a little bit about that and just like how that came about and what that was like?
Yeah, I mean, when Coach Ferragonio told us we were doing it, we were all a little bit hesitant, but I have played in it the past 3 years, and it's just a great opportunity for a great charity. And I know that Mrs. Ferragonio feels the same way. We go out there, we have a great time, and to be able to compete with, Kiski, who is a great volleyball team in themselves, it's just an exciting opportunity. It's different.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I love it. When I read it, I was like, wow, that's genius. I'm a huge fan of that. But I want to jump obviously back into some hoops because the season's getting pretty close if you think about it. I mean, before you know it, it'll be tryouts and then the season will begin. But I want to get into your personal game because you have a very, very, I would say, versatile game about you. You can play great on both sides of the ball, but your 3-point shooting really on the offensive side kind of stands out. How much do you work on that, and how much have you tried to make that kind of one of the main parts of your basketball game?
A long time. I mean, especially my AAU coach, all of the coaches have, helped me out and just making sure that the consistency is there. And I think, when you're trying to play in college, you kind of find out like what works for you and to highlight every aspect of your game. And for me, it was really that, I'm 6 foot tall, but didn't want to be a post. So I, decided that I wanted to develop my shooting and see where that took me.
Well, I mean, as you know, the game of basketball, it's expanding, literally. I mean, outwards. It's definitely a smart move by you. But on top of that, like I mentioned, the defensive aspect, and it plays really well into the kind of maybe game plan that Coach Brian Brzeski has for you guys. A strong defensive team that likes to use your length and take up a lot of space on the floor. So in terms of that and the approach, I mean, how do you think that kind of game plan that he draws up aligns with your style of play also?
I definitely think that Coach Bro has influenced my play a lot. He's a very defensive minded coach, and that has helped me out a lot because up until that point, everybody really focuses on offense and how you can score, and having the perspective of, a good defensive team is what wins, is just, it changed my perspective a lot, and it made me want to improve on my defense. And I know that it helps with our teamwork as well, learning to communicate as a team. And I think we do that pretty well. So I think that defense has now become a more important part of my game than it may have been before.
Well, I will tell you this, as a once college basketball player myself, being able to have that defensive aspect in your back pocket like that, it will allow you to stand out from the rest of your fellow incoming freshmen next year. So I again, tip my cap to you because that's an important thing. A lot of players don't like it. Nobody likes defense, but those that like it, they're getting a lot of playing time for a reason. But I want to get into this upcoming year because you guys bring back a really experienced group, and you guys have been each and every single year a really strong contender in the WPIAL. So what are the team's expectations heading into this year with all the experience that you bring back?
I mean, we want to win. I mean, as much as anybody else. I think what makes us unique is that we have a lot of upperclassmen and people returning that were big key factors in our play last year. So I think building upon what we were able to do last year and improving where we lacked a little bit and just kind of making our game more complete as a whole.
Well, we're definitely very excited here at WSN for the basketball season and to see you guys back out on the hardwood. Before we let you go, Ava, I just want to hear from you in terms of when you're getting ready for college, what are you most excited for? It doesn't have to be basketball related. It can be anything. I mean, what excites you for after you graduate from high school and the next 4 years of your life? I mean, what is so thrilling about that for you?
I think just starting, my next chapter, I won't be as close to home. I hope to stay friends with all of the people that I'm friends with now, but just kind of meeting new people and being around new people and getting to experience all the new opportunities that will come with, being in college and going to college classes, getting a degree, and especially playing basketball. I am just really excited to what that will bring for my life. So.
Well, before you head off there, enjoy your final year of high school and obviously good luck this upcoming season. Congratulations on the commitment and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That's Allegheny College women's basketball commit, Ava Kobus. As always, thanks for joining us for another Recruiting Thursday presented to you by Sendell Volkswagen in Greensburg. We'd love to meet you. Be sure to check out all other Recruiting Thursdays that are out now on our YouTube channel. But until next time, this is Jack Ridenour signing off, not saying a goodbye, just to see you later, right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.